Hey, I'm Mac. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm really excited because 1 year ago today, the first video of the current era of Mac Attack was posted about Young Living. So that's exciting. It's been a year now. You know, happy belated July 6th. Let's keep this going. Let's keep this giggle coaster going. So let's suppose that you're a Monat distributor doing the work and the personal development to get yourself to the top of the pyramid, and you just so badly want that monthly Cadillac payment so that you can claim the car was given to you by Monat, even though it's actually a lease in your name that Monat makes a monthly contribution toward as long as you keep your rank. But you've already smashed all your piggy banks and ruined all your relationships getting your hands on enough PV to get each pointless loser of a rank that came before this one. Maybe you try manifesting the money. You really try with all your might. You do your very best and you think only positive thoughts, but somehow it just seems like the universe doesn't care very much about your Monat business. Are you going to let the utter indifference of the universe to your boss babe empire builder dreams stop you from reaching your longtime dream of being the #1 business cosplayer in your business cosplaying cult? Are you? I said no too, that's right, you're not. So, let me tell you about the PPP program. The Paycheck Protection Program was a nearly $1 trillion program passed by Congress as part of the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, or CARES Act, and was signed into law on March 27th of 2020 in response to the pandemic that was totally going to end by the next month. Remember that? I remember. Well, the PPP was intended to provide funds to enable businesses and nonprofit organizations to continue paying their employees. It offered extremely low interest loans that, crucially, could be forgiven if the business did not lay off or reduce the wages of its employees. Basically, it was free money. And it was fairly easy to apply for one. Loan amounts were based on the payroll costs of the business, meaning wages, insurance plan costs, etc., up to $100,000 per employee on an annualized basis. For sole proprietors and self-employed people, the payroll costs could include net profits up to $100,000 annualized. The amount annualized is then divided by 12 to get the average monthly amount. And then the PPP amount is 2.5 times the average monthly payroll cost. Now, some people might have some ethical qualms about using PPP money for multi-level marketing. And I remind you, PPP assistance is called a loan, but for a sole proprietorship, it's essentially free money because the only requirement is that you not reduce wages or lay anyone off. And if you don't have any employees, then you've already satisfied that requirement and it's going to be forgiven. Some people might feel like it constitutes abusing a program intended for the relief of the economic impacts of the pandemic to benefit a company that repeatedly held massive events with no masks present and whose distributors had to be warned over and over again to stop making misleading income claims to take advantage of those impacted by COVID-19 economically. Some people might find it distasteful to take advantage of a program intended to maintain the economy as much as possible for an MLM. Since MLMs do not grow the economy, they siphon money out of the legitimate economy without adding any value to it. However, none of those some people are in Monat. Clearly, those people don't understand how expensive it is to rank up in Monat. We've got like $4,000 in PV we got to raise because that Cadillac has our name on it, okay? Let's go! In the initial form of the program, the identities of the recipients were being kept confidential. despite 4.5 million businesses receiving $500 billion by June of 2020. In May of 2020, a number of media and press organizations filed a lawsuit requesting that the full information and loan amounts be released to the public. And in November of 2020, a federal judge ruled that the Small Business Administration must release the information to the public. And this was done on December 1st of 2020. And basically what we've learned is that the program was abused like crazy. So what's interesting here is this result right here that we get when we search the database for Monat Girl LLC. Anti-MLM Boss Babe tipped me off to this, and I have verified it, that this Monat Senior Executive Director, Jessie Schoen, or Scone, I'm not sure which it is. In the process of verifying this, I noticed that she bought a new house in July of 2020. So maybe stick that fact in your back pocket, okay? She received a PPP loan for $26,700 in April of 2020 under the name Monat Girl LLC and had to pay back $0 of it. All of it was forgiven this past May, so she has received $26,700 in free taxpayer money, bought a new house in July of 2020, and had to pay back a diddly squat. Notably here, claimed to be in the category of cosmetics, beauty supplies, and perfume stores, which in my opinion is a serious stretch, but whatever. Additionally, she, like all PPP applicants, attested that the loan money was necessary for the business's continued operation, which is an interesting attestation to make when you're about to buy a new house that is much bigger than your old one. Okay, here's another one. Here's another PPP loan that we have here for the curiously titled Drissy Hair LLC, which is another business in the cosmetics, beauty supply, and perfume stores industry. Now, if I were a cynical person, which I am totally not, I might suspect that maybe this is Jessica Schoen's very close associate in the Monat business, who is also a senior executive director and member of the same team, Ashley Drissy. She received a PPP loan for $28,192 in April of 2020, all of which she does not have to pay a single cent back of, resulting in $28,192 in free taxpayer money for her Monat business. That's right, gag on the new PV, bitches. Oh. And in what I'm sure is a completely unrelated note here, completely unrelated, in October of 2020, she and her husband closed on the purchase of a home with 100 acres of land. But I'm sure that's completely unrelated to the $28,000 in free taxpayer money that she does not have to pay back, and that she attested was necessary for her to continue operations. So if that's not bad enough, there are several other Monat distributors that we know of in this same team who have received from several thousand to tens of thousands of dollars in free money from the taxpayers, but I'm not going to disclose their identities at this time, at least not yet, because I'm not certain that I feel they are public enough of figures, but I would love to get to the bottom of this and figure out what the flying fuck is going on in this team and where this little scheme to flim-flam the taxpayers out of money for your Monat garbage and new houses came from. Okay, because it's clearly coming from somewhere upline in that team. So even if you have no qualms with the ethically uproarious nature of these to Monat distributors getting tens of thousands of dollars in free money when 41% of Black-owned businesses compared to 17% of white-owned businesses went under during the pandemic, and when an estimated 90% of Latinx-owned and 95% of Black-owned businesses were unable to secure PPP loans because they did not have existing relationships with financial institutions, and you're totally fine with the audacity of bragging about your new house when you just got $30,000 in government handouts based on your dishonest documentation that you submitted, and you see no problem with the fact that they 100% represented that these new home purchases resulted entirely from their Monat businesses, with absolutely no mention of the free money they received from what were effectively government handouts, because of course that wouldn't be effective for recruiting new suckers into your downline. Well, okay, all of that granted, fine. There's a bigger issue here though, and that is that you're ineligible to receive this money. See, according to the law, 13 CFR Part 120, Section 110, Subpart F, pyramid or multi-level sales distribution plans are not eligible for SBA assistance under any circumstances. Is that not clear? Is it? I would think it is, but apparently it's not clear enough. At this point, I have no idea what we do about this. At this point, I'm just reporting this and continuing to look into it and research for more details to see what the hell is going on with this team, because it seems awfully coincidental that it's all these people on this team from Illinois and Indiana, okay? All I know is it seriously pisses me off that they're out here taking thousands of dollars in free money from taxpayers and buying houses and pretending that they earned it in their Monat business so that they can scam more people and flex on Instagram. You are trash. I've been Mac. Peace out. Bye!